Tonight on Evening, the Uzbekistani painter making tough topics beautiful.
Life is short, so why not to live every day beautiful and create beautiful things?
Steal some creative cocktail recipes from this European-style Belltown bar. And your last chance to visit this iconic Bellingham hangout.
Well, good evening and welcome aboard the mighty Wenatchee, our new hybrid ferry. How exciting is this? I'm Chris Cashman, so thrilled to take you aboard for the float, not just because it's the cheapest cruise in town. At $10.25 to cruise our waters on a day like this, yes please, Justin is here from Washington State Ferries. This is an important time to talk to our friends who, a lot of them, Mariners fans, commute this way, but the schedule is changing. You got some new stuff going on board.
Yeah, we just wrapped up our busy summer season, our busiest one since 2019.
Okay, confirmed.
Yeah, and that's nearly 500,000 more passengers than last summer. And despite the added demand, we actually are improving our end-time performance.
Good.
We're seeing far fewer cancellations due to crewing. We got some work to do, but we're heading in the right direction, definitely. And you mentioned Wenatchee?
Yes.
Yep,
Let's brag about this.
We're aboard the most technologically advanced ferry in our fleet, recently converted to hybrid electric. Still in a commissioning phase, which means that we're still testing it out in real-time conditions, so going in and out of service as needed to get things fine-tuned.
Very cool. I almost had to do the cartoon thing with my eyes. I saw some pets aboard. You got a pet program right now.
Yeah, we just recently started a pilot program, a 6-month trial, allowing dogs in all passenger areas, indoors and out. And at the end of that pilot period in February, we're going to do an assessment and see how things go. This is basically from feedback from the public, and we kind of want to align with some of the other transit agencies in our region.
Very cool. Exciting times on the Washington State Ferries. We're on board the hybrid today. We're going to cruise from Seattle to Bainbridge, and then we'll come home back. Again, the cheapest cruise in town. $10.25, right? 18 and under.
Yep.
Free. All you got to pay is attention, as we like to say. Doesn't get any smoother than that. Now to a story of a local artist. You know, sometimes artists celebrate nature, things around them. Sometimes they use it to speak, to advocate, to talk about important discussions and even things people aren't talking about. Here's Gloria Angelin.
Aziza's paintings have been shown in many Seattle exhibitions, sparking conversations that can sometimes feel uncomfortable to talk about, from war to death to made-up memories of family gatherings. She's a painter who sees the beauty in everything. Although the issues depicted can be hard to talk about, Aziza knows how to make people look and think. She paints in a whimsical and enchanting way.
I do tend to make things beautiful. Life is short, so why not to live every day beautiful and create beautiful things?
It's the beauty that grabs people's attention, but when you look closer, there is a story within a story that makes you wonder, what message is this painting trying to convey?
As an immigrant, Aziza's paintings have become her voice, a voice that breaks through so many barriers.
I came here from Uzbekistan at the age of 19. It is tough at times. The accent plays a factor. The way I look different plays a factor too. Right now I can go out and start talking about things, but people will not listen. But with my pieces, I can put it, and then people just stop there and try to understand what's happening, as if it was a gift to me. This is how I can talk now.
Some of her paintings are influenced by Gustav Klimt and Van Gogh, but most of them feature her own unique signature, big eyes and tilted heads.
Eyes are so beautiful, so you make them big, and I don't use much of wrinkles or muscles of the face. The only things I can show emotion is with body position, so when you have it tilted, it kind of makes it as if you're loving something.
And why choosing the vibrant color?
That's a good question. I've never thought about it, I think, well, until you asked me. So, you know, you do things and you just do them. And to understand why you're doing it, you sometimes have to sit and analyze your background. Yeah, and I scattered our traditional things around my home, and I've noted it's pretty bright. This is how I grew up, you know, seeing very simple things and covered with lots of patterns. It's really hard for me to pick subtle colors.
Aziza's art shows her wonderful Uzbekistan heritage to Seattle. It carries the spirit of never giving up and finding the bright side even on the rainiest days.
You can check out Aziza's paintings in person at the Park Lane Gallery there in Kirkland. It is also available for purchase online. Now, if you've ever wanted to visit the legendary Boundary Bay Brewery, this would be the time to do it. This iconic Bellingham institution is unfortunately closing at the end of September, so we raise a pint and toast to tradition.
Bellingham's Boundary Bay Brewery has been a destination for decades.
We opened in 1995, so it was a much different beer culture then, and we were one of the few Northwest breweries to kind of jump in and start making an IPA.
For owners Janet Leitner and Ed Bennett, staff is family here, and vice versa. Madison Pugmire is Janet's daughter. She grew up in this brewery.
I used to be able to sit in the tap room and drink my hot cocoa and watch my cartoons in the morning.
Today, she manages the restaurant with the help of her son, Lucien, who's also grown up here. It's fitting for a place with these nicknames.
Bellingham's living room, Bellingham's backyard.
Sure, you'll find award-winning beer at Boundary. You'll also find a place that welcomes everyone. It's pet-friendly and has a gallery space inside its tap room with rotating displays of art. Most of all, it's for purchase. The food is locally sourced, some from nearby waters.
My favorite things are the pesto salmon sandwich and the harvest salad and our steamer broth that we make for the clams.
But the most important thing you'll find here is community. Boundary Bay supports everything from 6th grade band kids to Sea to Ski, an iconic Bellingham relay race, to organizations working to end hunger. Just a tiny example of the good done in Bellingham's living room for decades.
I love being a part of something that's bigger than just me. Boundary staying true to who Boundary is, and it's always been family first and community first and supporting everything as much as we can. The food and the beer is just a bonus for me.
Yes, it's that bittersweet aftertaste. Boundary Bay is actually closing because the building they're in is being sold, so the owners decided this is as good a time as any to hang up our pints. Last day of operation is September 30th.
Steal these 4 drink recipes from Belltown's coolest bar, including one booze-free option. Plus, a ferry-themed getaway just like the real deal, but without the lines.
Wow! Local stories make a difference.
That's good.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
And welcome back to Evening. Former Merchant Marine, current mild-mannered TV host, Chris Cashman here. We're so thrilled that you are with us. Welcome aboard the Wenatchee here. Yes, this is our hybrid electric cruise and fancy. We left Jose Cedeno on the mainland, but that's because he is on a mission to meet with the very best bartenders, to find the very best bars. Cocktails are his mission, and today he takes us inside an English-inspired bar in Belltown known as the Pennyroyal.
I'm in Belltown to meet with the bartender of Pennyroyal to learn about cocktails.
I'm Huntley Gordon. I'm a bartender here at Pennyroyal. We're a low-light, classic-style bar right across the street from the Moore Theater at 2nd and Virginia in Belltown. You just get the perfect vibe where it's not too much tourism, it feels local, and you get a great mix of people, even some rock stars sometimes.
What do you think it makes a good bartender?
First things first, organization, cleanliness, and creativity.
Ooh, that makes me curious to learn about what type of cocktails he will be doing for us.
Today I'm gonna do for you, Jose, the Midnight Manhattan, the Roll Like Thunder, and the Piece of Irene. Cheers!
Alrighty, let's get this party started.
First, we have our Midnight Manhattan, High West Bourbon, Averna Amaro, and Nocino Black Walnut Liqueur. First 2 ounces of High West Bourbon, we're using Amaro Averna instead of sweet vermouth. That's another 1 ounce pour there. And then a touch more of the Nocino Black Walnut Liqueur instead of bitters. That's stirred and then poured into a martini glass and garnished with a cherry. It is a great bourbon, it's not too sweet.
Let's see how it tastes. Oh, this one is strong, but still very good. But I'm not gonna drink it all today.
One more time, here's what you need to make the Midnight Manhattan.
Next, we have our Roll Like Thunder. This is using Joven Mezcal, our honey strawberry syrup, torch rosemary with a little bit of lime. We're using here 2 ounces of our Joven Mezcal, an ounce of lime juice shaken with our honey strawberry syrup, and then poured over a big cube with some torch rosemary as garnish.
If you guys can only smell the rosemary, this is good. I can taste the smokiness of it, but it's very kind of like sweet, but also tropical in a way. This one is good. This one is really good.
Here's the list of what you need to make the delicious Roll Like Thunder.
Last, we have our Piece of Irene Zero Proof Mocktail. This is done with Lyre's Blood Orange Zero Proof Italian liqueur. This is going to be served with some grapefruit soda and garnished with just a little bit of lemon, or I like lime.
I like it. Because it almost makes you feel like you are having a cocktail, but you're not.
I would say like a grapefruit soda, but also very elegant, something a little bit more weighted and viscous.
And the recipe of the refreshing Piece of Irene.
Cheers. Thank you for having us. And if somebody wants to have a great cocktail, where they should come?
2nd and Virginia, Pennyroyal Bar. We'll be here for you.
Now you know it.
Thank you, Jose. We will have all of those cocktail recipes ready and waiting for you in neat 4-ounce pours at king5evening.com. And because inquiring minds want to know, Pennyroyal opens up at 3 o'clock every day. All right, since we are cruising aboard the Wenatchee on a Washington State ferry, we thought we would celebrate a ferry experience like no other. We set sail now to Whidbey Island.
Your attention, please. We are now arriving at our destination.
With its exterior painted that familiar white and green.
Well, hello, welcome to Ferry Cove.
And historic ferry photos on the walls, the inspiration for Ryan Anderson's Whidbey Island Airbnb is clear.
So it's kid camps meets national parks meets ferry is basically the theme. The idea is that you come here and feel like I'm a kid again.
His waterfront house in Clinton does feel like summer camp. One bedroom is a salute to Disney's Parent Trap. Another is the bunk room everybody wanted when they were a kid. And then there are the campy touches, like this loudspeaker.
Attention campers, please return the kayaks immediately.
But head down to the basement to truly climb aboard this getaway.
Washington State Ferry, come on.
Ryan, who also owns a construction company, built this recreation of the ferry Tokite himself, right down to the life rings. It's so realistic, the only way to confirm you're not on a ferry is to pay close attention to the details. Ryan paid close attention to details too. He had an expert color match all the paint from the real ferry and recorded the announcements himself.
Drivers and passengers, return to your vehicles.
And every time we get on the ferry, I'm with my camera and my notepad and my iPhone, I'm walking around, and they all got to know me. And they're like, oh, here's that guy again. Here he comes.
He even made this view of the Clinton dock on his faux ferry using his iPhone.
I really liked that, the way it turned out.
There's yet another twist in the basement, captain's quarters, straight out of the Humphrey Bogart movie African Queen. Ryan's construction company, R.W. Anderson Homes, plans to make more fantasy spaces like Ferry Cove.
It's fun to know that people can kind of bring out their inner kid for a weekend, and it means a lot to me.
Best of all, you can sit on the porch at Ferry Cove and watch the real one come and go. And once you've arrived, you won't have to wait in any lines to enjoy this ferry getaway.
Thank you for sailing aboard the Washington State Ferries. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, now, taking the ferry to the ferry Airbnb, that is like the peak PNW experience. We've got a link for reservations on our website, king5evening.com. You know, we're headed to Bainbridge, another great place to take the kids, to take the family, and in fact, we know just the spot to take the kids when you're there. St. Brian has that story.
Welcome to my market.
There's a serious run on fruits and vegetables going on at Kids Discovery Museum, where Executive Director Corinne Wolf is handling cashier duties.
We got some really good food in here. How can you not have fun being in a children's museum, right? So we get to play every day, get to watch kids learn and grow.
This particular van load of Squin kids were driven here by Emily Webb and her friend.
They seem to love it. We wanted to go to lunch and we're still here, so.
Still here because there's so much to do. Play Light Bright on a giant board, climb into a treehouse and take the sliding way down, or go to work on a construction site with Dad.
Everything we have here is for kids to do with other people, including the adults that bring them.
It's really cool. It's got different stations, so when the kids are at one station, they are entertained for a while, and then when they're done, we can just go to a different station.
Your pass is good for the entire day, so Emily's kids really could eat lunch and return. With all of those groceries, you have to believe they're hungry by now, but they're still here.
Yeah, we told the kids that we could come back, but that was a thumbs down for now.
Thank you, Saint. The Kids Discovery Museum on Bainbridge is open and celebrating 20 years. Congratulations. They are, of course, operating on seasonal hours. Check out their website before you visit.
Coming up, the South Sound Island you may never have heard of, and it's just a ferry ride away.
And welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman. Welcome aboard the Wenatchee Washington State Ferry living tonight. This is the hybrid electric. Look at you cruising in style. A lot of Mariners fans going to be floating to the games this way. I know you are glued to this team right now. If you can't make it to the Mariners game in person, no worries, because Pike Pub will be open Thursday, hosting a watch party for the game. Draft beers will be $6, 0 cents all day, in hopes that Cal can get 60 home runs in the series. Plus, they just added a couple of extra TVs, so you'll be able to see the game from anywhere in the restaurant. And speaking of the Mariners, we are enjoying the waters here, sailing Western Washington waterways today. We thought we'd visit one of the lesser known islands in the South Sound. St. Brian takes us to Anderson Island.
It's a wonderful place.
Here is an 8-square-mile island that offers spectacular views, natural beauty, miles of unspoiled beaches.
We have an eagle's nest just right up the hill.
And residents like Jeannie McGoldrick, who can't name a place where she'd rather live.
They'll have to carry me off in a box or screaming, I don't know.
That's the feelings of an awful lot of people.
Retired aerospace engineer Ed Stevenson says first-time visitors should check out the Johnson Farm, run by the volunteers of the Anderson Island Historical Society.
It says chicken coop on the outside.
Right.
But inside?
All of this stuff has just kind of been put in here for storage at the moment because we've been building a new archival building.
There are rusting farm tools here, an old pilot house for one of the island's original ferries, and this antique.
People have to go all the way down to the ferry to make a phone call.
Hello, operator. I would like to make a phone call. Person to person, please.
There's another rusting antique in Oro Bay, the Ocean City it's called.
Yeah, that was a very interesting story. Tommy Palmer kind of collects ferries.
In the 1980s, Palmer won the ferry in a Virginia auction and brought it through the Panama Canal, hoping to win a private contract to ferry Anderson Island passengers. The county said no, and it's been here ever since. We've got our own ferry to catch, but there's one more place we wanted to see, the Anderson Island General Store.
That's kind of our central point of information.
Here you can pick up groceries, videos, used books, and the latest news. As the sun sets over the Sound, we head back to the mainland, a 20-minute ride that's made all the difference for Anderson Island.
I love the ferry. That's the only thing that's keeping the island as quiet as it is.
Thank you, Saint. Anderson Island is accessible via a 20-minute ferry ride just outside of Stellacombe. That makes it the shortest ferry ride in the Puget Sound.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our communities shine. Thanks to support from Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
Welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman, wrapping up the show here from the Wenatchee, our hybrid electric ferry. How cool is this? I might have the coolest job ever. Well, the second coolest job ever. I'll get my resume in for that. Mariners fans, we leave you now with a musical tribute to Cal Raleigh, his record-breaking seasons. This is one of those hot pieces of the internet. This is Leo Caralla and Jake London with their song Go See Cal, as performed at Tim's Tavern in White Center. Go Mariners.
white horses calling, go see cow, go see cow, go see cow. If you're aiming for the fences, go see